So I already started about the history of novel. So again I am going to repeat it exactly. We are going to understand about novel. Novel is a part of literature. Novel is a part of literature, and the novel is also have a certain types, and it also has some kind of history. Like when when we are reading a poem, when we are reading a prose or story, like how it is started in this world, they also have a different history. So the novel also have a certain history that we are going to learn in your 12th standard English book. So here till now I think so in last video we had done with that. It's 18th century has gifted the English literature two entirely new forms, right? In the 18th century, which means nearby 1700, the English literature is gifted by two new forms which are without any traces in the ancient classical heritage. One of those was the periodical essay, and second one is the novel. Till now I think so we had done the essay is what, novel is what, it's a long narrative, right? So here, from here I can start it. Novel as a literary genre has a history of about 2000 years. So the history of novel, it is started back, date from 2000 years from now it is started. Among the early precursor of novel, a collection of tales known as the Greek and Romans, dating from the second to sixth century. So before novel also there was something like that was the tales of the Greek people and the Roman people. Tales means nothing but it's a mythology, right? And these imaginative and delightful stories of idle love and marvelous adventures profoundly affected the creative writing from the next 1,000 years. So we can say that the novel, the this is also a part of literature, like poem we are reading it, like prose we are reading it. So this had started 2000 years back, and before the 2000 years there was a tales was there. Okay, from generation to generation it was passed on. And though novel in the modern era usually make use of literary prose, the earlier threads of the genre can be found in. So, if I talk about the evidence of the novel is uh, found in the Virgil Ecologius, okay, Virgil Ecologius or Mallory's Monte de Arthur and Geoffrey Chaucer, the Canterbury Tales. So in tales also we can find this novel, the long narrative story. Like in ancient time also the people used to narrate something, and that narration is only a novel. Clear? Then Lady Lady Murasaki Shukubai tale of uh, Janji has been described, okay, has been described as the world first novel. If I talk about the first world first novel is the Lady Murasaki Shukubai, a tale of Genji, is the world first novel. I can show you also uh, where we were. Yeah, the world first novel is the tale of Genji. See, the tale of Genji. So you can see everything is there in this world. Like from Google also you can see, and this is the one of the first world novel you can see. This is the first world novel, right? First world tale, and we can see it is the, and now also you can find the book on the Google or Amazon. Okay. So the time period is also given in the bracket. You can see the 1010 has been described as the first world novel. The European novel is often said to begin with Don Quixote. If I talk about the European novel, like this was the Japanese novel, and the European novel was said to begin with the Don Quixote by Spanish writer, and the Don. This novel was written by the Spanish writer, the Miguel de Cervantes, which was published two parts by 1605 and 1615. And in the 18th century, the appearance, like the from the Europe side, the dawn, uh, this was the first. Okay, in the European is this one. See this one. Okay, this is the first novel in the European side. Clear? Okay. So in the 18th century, the appearance of newspaper and magazine attracted a large number of readers. Okay, so what it means in 1700, the appearance of the newspaper and the magazine. So how the things are appearance in the newspaper, how the things are appearance magazine is attract a large number of readers. Okay, it's attract a large number of reader from the middle class. Okay, from the middle class it attracts a large number of reader, and this new readers has had little interest in romance and tragedies. Okay, so these readers had little interested in romance and tragedies. So if I talk about the people of the 18th century, they are attracted towards the newspaper and magazine. Okay, and these new readers have also had a little interest in the romance and tragedies, which where everyone is aware about romance means romantic stories they need to listen, which were appreciated by the upper class. So it is appreciated by the upper class. So the people was interested in magazine and newspaper, but they are also uh, interested in reading tragedies and love stories, and which was appreciated by the upper class. Okay, and thus need for a and because of the need for a type of new literature arise. So novel was arise because there was a requirement at that time. Okay, express the new ideas of the 18th century. The 18th century, the new literature was characterized by the spirit of realism and denial of romantic features like enthusiasm and passion and imagination. So if I talk about, there was a need, the need was there at that time. Okay, the need was there. Okay, and then this need, okay, and then this need, okay, which need, the need we are talking about, the people are interested to read the love stories and tragedies, and that is the main reason the new literature was came in the light at that time, because they are showing the spirit of realism, denial of like and denial and denial of romantic features like enthusiasm, passion, imagination. The foreground for novel was prepared by all this factor. So the base of the novel was prepared by all this factor. There is passion, there is enthusiasm, there is imagination are there. And after 1740, the novel originated as the literary form in England. Okay, and after the 1714 in England, the novel was originated as literary form. An increase in trade and commerce, along with the industrial and increase in trade and commerce, along with the industrial revolution, gave rise to the middle class. Okay, along with the industrial revolution, gave rise in the middle class. Okay, along with industrial revolution, gave rise in the middle class. Clear? Okay, industrial revolution gave rise to the middle class. Clear? And then a class of people had emerged to occupy an elite status. Okay, so here uh, the this novels has originated in England, and because of that, the trade and commerce also increases. Like business people have also increases, and industrial revolution was gave rise to the middle class. A class of people had emerged to occupy an elite status. The realistic picture of everyday life and problems of common people depicted in the novels and appealed to the newly educated class and was regarded by them as respectable reading material. So slowly in the novel also it was started from, because the novel at that time before they are showing the love, romantics and tragedies, and after a period of time they have started showing the daily life, the lifestyle of the people, and people started respected to reading this kind of material. Okay, clear? So we are understanding about the history, how it started. Like from it started from Japan, then after that Europe. Thus, novel as a form, thus novel as a form appear to have been designed for both to voice the aspiration of the middle and lower class, and meet their longings. Okay, so the novel as a form, thus the novel as a form appear to be have been designed for both. Okay, have been designed for both voice both to voice the aspiration of the middle and lower class to meet their longings. Clear? So what it means? So because of the novel as a form, okay, novel as a form appear to have been a design for both to voice the aspiration of the middle and the lower class to meet their longings. So that's why the different class of people started reading that. So novel became the voice for both the people, both the class system in the society, for the middle and the lower also. Okay, the advent of machine provided time to the newly formed so because of the machine was advanced, and it provided the time to the newly formed educated middle class to indulge in reading and discussion about the books. So because of the machines, uh, these middle class people have started engaging themselves in reading the books. Drama, poetry were the two literary forms that were fading away. So people stopped reading the drama and the poetry. People started changing their way to read the novel and all, because people more started interested to reading a long story. Okay, and novel was the combination of some features of drama and poetry. Okay, novel is the combination of both the drama and poetry. Okay, some features of some new more features were added. It became the prominent form in the 18th century by encompassing the and it became the one of the important form in the 1700 time by encompassing the social, political, and culture happening and scientific progress. Okay, scientific progress. The Pilgrim Progress by John. Clear? So slowly, it was started. The people the people didn't stop reading drama and poetry, but people are more interested in novel because it is the combination of both. So it is the Pilgrim Progress by John Bunyan, 1678, and the Urunuku by Aprabel initiated the plenteous and the colorful tradition of English novel, and was followed by the Daniel. So slowly, this kind of novel was started, and then Jonathan Swift, the Gulliver Travels, a famous satire. Okay, other major novelists of 18th centuries of Samuel Richardson and the Clarissa, both epistolary, Henry Fielding and Lawrence Strain. Okay, and Smoss Omelette. The tradition was enriched by many other stalwart novelists such as the Charles Dickens, Walter Scott, Nathalie Haverton, Horace Walpole, and Thomas Hardy, and Wilkie Collins, and H.G. Wells. The 20th century is marked by the modern topics. This 20th century, which means nearby 1900, was marked by the modern topics, innovative style, techniques, and widened angles of the views of the novelist, of like Emin Foster, James Joyce, Joseph Conrad, Henry James, George Orwell, Graham Greene. So these are the novels name, and they widen the circumference of the genre by writing political, social, psychological, other modern issue in the novels. There are immigrant authors are also there, the Salman and Naipal, Kazgu from Japan, and many others. So till now we have understood that slowly in the modern period also they have started focusing on the modern period, the new thing. Okay, so then contribution of women novelist in this a great way cannot be neglected, because women novelist was also there at that time. The novel of manners, The Evelina by by Franz Berne, Gothic novels by Anne Radcliffe, a novel based on Science Age, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley are the landmark of novels. So women also started writing the novels, and it was we cannot neglect it. Then Jane Austen has been ruling over the minds of the people through her novels. So Jane Austen was ruling over the mind to the peoples through her novels, and Bronte sisters Emily and Charlotte have created their own place by their incomparable works. Okay, the Withringer Heights and the Jane Mary Ann, Evan Ellis and George Eliot wrote novels reflecting psychological insight. Then Virginia Woolf is the pioneer of the stream of consciousness technique in English novel. So yeah, I can say if you read this paragraph, you will understand that different women novelists are there, and they have written the novels very nicely. Clear? Okay. So till now we have understood about the history of novels, how it started in Europe and how it started in the Asian countries, and what is the reason behind it of the novels, why the people are interested to read in novels, right? Okay. So novels. So there are different types of novels we are going to see now. Okay. So there is Indian scenario. Okay. Indian scenario, then novella, then character, then setting. Okay, there are different types of in Indian perspective. We will see how the Indian novels have written, and then we will see the types of novels are there. Okay, the types of novels are there. Let's start with the Indian scenario. The Rajmohan Wives. Okay, Rajmohan Wives by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay. Okay, Chattopadhyay. So Rajmohan Wives is a novel and is written by the Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, serialized in the Indian field. The Indian field was the first first novel in English written by the Indian. Okay, the Indian field was the first written by the written by an Indian. The period after that is marked a few more novels like written by Indian writers, and these novels bore bore either nationalistic virtues or social issue, and these novels are actually the main framework of the novels are related to the nationalistic virtues about the social issues of the India. Okay, and Mulkraj Anand and R.K. Narayan and Raja Rao were the first were the were the major trio who prevailed in the period after that. Novelists like Anita Desai, Narayan Tara Sahgal and Arun Joshi and Manohar Malgunkar uplifted and revolutionized the Indian English novel through their works. Amitav Ghosh and Vikram Seth and Upamanyu Chatterjee ameliorated the Indian novel in English by adding new features to it. Recent years have witnessed the dazzling performance by Indian novelists like Salman the Rushdie and Anvir Adiga and Arundhati Roy and Kiran Desai. So here the few names are given over here, like how in India the Indian novels started. The first it started the Indian films and and after Indian films there are so many novelists came, and they have talked about the economic condition, social condition and political condition of India. Okay, and then Kiran Nagarkar, the tradition of Indian English novel since its inception has registered marked shift exhibiting the global corners. Okay, and then the novella. What is novella? Novella, the word originated from the Italian word. Okay, novel is a type of narrative prose fiction, narrative prose story and fiction, which is a shorter than full length novel. Okay, novella is a shorter than the full length novel and longer than short story, and it's a well structured yet narrative after the satiric and realistic in tone. It usually focuses on incident and issue. So novella is just a novel only. It is the cousin brother of the novel, we can say, because it also focusing on the narrative, but it is a medium size of like novel. It's a long story. Novella it's a medium size. It is not more than so not more than long story, not less than short story. It is in the mid. It usually focuses on one incident or issue with two or more characters. Okay, it usually like we can say in this in novella you will see incident but not more than two or more characters, right? Place at a single tradition. Some of the famous novellas in English are, there are some famous novellas are there in English. The one is the Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad. Okay, the Heart of Darkness. Then Turn of the Screw by Henry James. Then Death in Venice, Billy Bird, Pearl. Okay, so these are the novel novella are there. Novella is nothing but a medium size narrative short story. Like a novel, it's a long story, but novella is it's a shorter than the real novel. Clear? And what is the elements of novel? Now we are going to understand in novel exactly what is the main factor are there. Okay, and there are total how many elements? The six elements are there. Okay, and there are six elements essential for novel or novella both. All these factors may be related to one another or work by an author. So whenever the a novel is written by a writer author, so there are six elements we will say that. Okay, they are keeping in mind. The first is the theme. Obviously the theme of the story, the theme is the central idea of the novel which can be expressed in a nutshell. It is a philosophical statement or a truth which the writer has put forth to the narration of series of events. Okay, theme of the story is very important. Now what is the theme? Like for example, just imagine that I want to tell you the story of the Bollywood. Okay, if I want to tell you the story of Bollywood, so Bollywood is the theme. Clear? So I cannot put the Hollywood in that. My theme is the Bollywood. Clear? And then plot is essentially the story or the course or event that make up the theme. Okay, and it is created by conflict, either by internal or external. Plot may be simple or complex. Okay, the intertwine or maybe this subplots. Plots is nothing but how we are plotting that theme. Like Bollywood, I had taken. Okay, I am a writer. I want to write a novel. So I will plot accordingly, according to the character. Like what will be my character, and accordingly I will plot the story. Okay, and then after that, the characters. Okay, characters are nothing but what are the characters will I place in the Bollywood. Obviously, the celebrity will be there, the media people will be there, the audience will be there. Okay, those people are the characters. Characterization is related to the plot as the course event take place, and depiction of character can range from thumbnail sketch to the tape. Okay, and then after that, the setting are there. Setting is the background in which the story take place. Setting is nothing but in which background the story is going to be take place. What is the setting? What is the time period? Okay, what is the, it is a modern period, it is a olden period. What kind of Bollywood you are showing? The Bollywood you are showing in the olden time modernism. The lifestyle will be goes accordingly. The plot will be, the character will be based on that according to the time period. Okay, setting is nothing but the time period. Conflict, the struggle between the opposite forces of the story is called conflict. So conflict is like what kind of conflict? The the writer is going to be put in the story, because that's the main reason the people are going to be interested. Otherwise the people is, if just imagine that you are telling a story where there is no conflict, the people will listen, you know, people is not going to be listen you. Okay, then language and style. The language and the technique used by the author for narration of the course of events is known as the style. Okay, I am stopping here, and we will continue further now.